Hi, Zizaran here. Chris Wilson has posted on Reddit, and it's a big wall of text, and I'm going to read it. There's quite a large jump in difficulty from the campaign to early maps, as the number of Arch Nemesis mods and monsters arises abruptly. This not only affects their average difficulty, but just how tanky they are. We're going to taper up more smoothly so that it's more gradual progression and is unmodified in red maps. This will result in less difficulty and less life on average for rare maps below red maps. To prevent life values getting out of hand on special league monsters with Arch Nemesis mobs, we'll also reduce the life bonus that each essence grants a rare monster and reduce a bonus that life red beasts have. We'll also review whether betrayal content is spawning too many rare monsters. Good. I was really worried they weren't going to touch on this. Good. Thank you. Harvest. Players have commented that the quantity of life ores yielded by Sackgrove is too low to how much the craft costs. Harvest yield currently scales up to around 10 times higher by the time you're in high maps with Atlas Tree specialization, rewarding you for running higher maps, rolling your maps well, and specializing in harvest. We will rebalance the yield at lower maps so that League is more rewarding early on without affecting its yield at higher tiers. It's still terrible at higher tiers though! What do you mean? That's so bad! It's terrible! Have you not been in red maps? Players also noticed that occasionally a harvesting encounter can result in no life force dropping. This was because in an effort to reduce the number of clicks, the life force from beasts below tier 3 had a non-guaranteed chance to drop, but was larger on average than it otherwise would be. This means you could occasionally get unlucky and receive none for that encounter. We're raising the chance of life force dropping so it's less likely to receive none at all, while striving not to increase it to an enjoyable amount. Lake of Kalandra. We are increasing the rewards from both League and non-League encounters throughout the Lake, particularly at higher map levels and higher difficulties. We will raise the occurrence rate of regular, not ethereal, reflecting mist so they get more choices of reflected rare jewelry as a reward for playing harder encounters. We're also investigating some Lake of Kalandra QOL, like marking which rooms are completed on the map. Nice. Okay, great. General item drops. Players report that general item drops feel a lot lower in the expansion. There are two changes made in 3.19. The first is the rate of encountering rare monsters from certain league content has been reduced, so you're fighting, killing, receiving rewards from fewer monsters than before. This is partially offset by rare monsters now being more rewarding. The second reason is that we removed a massive historic bonus to quantity and rarity applied to some league-specific monsters. We replaced it with a moderate increase to item quantity to offset the fact that they have often more life than regular monsters. There have been no other reward affecting changes that we are aware of, but we will investigate to see if there are any unanticipated consequences of some other changes. Our intention with these changes is to modify certain league content that was out of line with other content, thus a similar reward profile. These changes are important, but we understand they are reduced overall rewards that players receive. We are going to compensate elsewhere, but we don't want to just increase the raw number of items that are dropped. Most items are immediately filtered out. Yeah. We want to increase the number of relevant items that drop. Good. First, we are going to adjust the system that skews weapon armor bases towards the higher level ones, so that players find items that are relevant to their level more often. This isn't an increase to overall item drops. It'll just mean that you'll find more appropriate rare items. Second, we're going to play the same constellation approach we had to act bosses to map bosses. That sounds awesome. Because that was noticeable, the last one they did. This will result in you finding more unique items from map bosses. It's worth noting that a widely shared clip of a player opening an Arcanist strongbox receiving no items has caused some concern. We believe this was caused by the change where common currency drops less frequency but in larger stacks. We will fix this specific Arcanist strongbox issue. These changes are not final, but we wanted to communicate our current thoughts immediately rather than wait. I mean, this is good, right? They communicate right after the weekend. I think most of the problems are fixable. This is going to come down to how good is the Lake of Kalandra fixes. And this is terrible. This is awful. So Harvest, I'm just keeping it removed. The Arch Nemesis stuff. I mean, this, I just have no idea. Hopefully this fixes it. This is addressing the problem I have with it. But at this point, they just remove Harvest. Either walk Harvest back or get rid of it. No. What? Don't walk it back. The new system is way better than the old one. There is nothing worse than having to craft when you find a harvest. Like, I love the new... like, it should just drop 5 to 10 times more than what it's currently dropping. Like, I just need Life Force to drop. Each plot should drop a minimum amount that is enough for 2 min crafts. I agree. Absolutely. Okay, but if I want 5 blue on a strength item, but that should be rare. What do you mean? It shouldn't be easy to get 5 blue on a strength item. That's a good thing. Anyway, I gave this a 4 out of 10. 5 out of 10. It just depends what they end up doing and how much it fixes things. I'm very sad about the harvesting. I fucking hate the league mechanic. I've literally... okay, I haven't stopped doing it, but I've stopped doing it. I'm probably doing what most of you guys are doing. This is what I'm doing right now. I'm just saving up mirror tablets, because why the fuck would I run it right now? I'm just fucking stacking them. So hopefully this makes it worth doing. General item drops are pretty low. And like the Empyrean stuff and quantity stuff seems straight up bugged, and that isn't really addressed here. I'm pretty sure I had 2 or 3 Arcanist boxes last week that had nothing in them. But I feel like this was the biggest problem. I just think loot in general is a bit shit. I got flamed for saying this, but 2 or 3 years ago, some of you might remember that I said that because Reddit has become more and more toxic with personal attacks and stuff like that, they were gonna stop communicating with us. And like, communication has changed so much. Reddit scared Bex away, no doubt. Oh yeah, I mean, Bex doesn't talk to us anymore the same way. There was so many like not everything's bad. Like obviously like criticism is great, and there like a lot of people start like crying when there's any criticism, and that's not what I'm talking about. But there are so many comments. I mean, thankfully very often they're downvoted and stuff, but you will like, if you sift through the comments before the mods delete them, you'll see like literally people saying like, oh, I hope the developers fucking die, and like really least sane comments like that. So when you're like seeing stuff like that, it's like, bruh. Like, they do get deleted, but like, there's some like insane comments, unhinged comments. How many people had last league as their favorite league ever? Because it was for me. So I think that makes this be such a stark comparison, because I feel like I was running and they just chopped up off my legs, and now I'm like, I'm wading through shit right now, and I was like, I think it's just the fact that I'm getting pissed on from so many different angles. It's not just one angle of piss. It's like, I have like no fucking items. I'm struggling so hard for gear. Like, I actually have okay-ish gear now, but it's taken a lot. And the fact that like the league mechanic is unenjoyable, gear is really hard. I don't know. It's rough. Anyway, we'll end the video there. Blame me or whatever in the comments. I don't know if I had a bad or a good take. That's just how I feel. Thanks for watching. Sub if you liked the video, but more importantly, try to die less than I do.